country music is one of, if not the most hated genre of music, with people online and in person saying how much they detest the music and that they like every genre but country music. Today I'm going to talk about why I don't think it deserves the hate that it gets, and how a lot of the arguments people use to hate country just aren't really exclusive to country music, so it doesn't really make sense to use those as arguments against country music. So there's two main kind of overarching topics why people hate country music. One of them is the actual content within the songs, and the other are the artists and fans, so the people and the actual music. First, we're going to talk about the music. One of the things that people mention over and over again is that all country music sounds the same and it all features the same topics. Heartbreak, love, trucks, whiskey, partying, you get the picture. And yeah, they kind of do, a lot of them, especially the popular stuff now, but you also have a lot of, really, deep hitting storytelling country music that talked about a wide variety of things. And even if it didn't, even if it just stuck to those basic things that people keep talking about, so does pop music. Like, if I just look here, and I look at the charts right now for the pop music, you'll see there's one about love, sex, breakup, partying, breakup song, a love song. Oh, this one's unique, a partying song. Oh wait, it's not, because we've already had one of those. Let's see, another breakup song. So it would seem that pop music also recycles the same topics of, to sing about as well. So really, if you actually look at it, I would argue that country music is more diverse in what it talks about, because it talks about the same things pop music does, breakups, love, partying, whatever. But then it also has more country-specific things, like the trucks, NASCAR, horses, whatever. So you can't really say that you hate country music because it's not diverse enough, the content that they talk about, when you're also banging the top 40 playlist that practically every single song is talking about the same things in just different words. And also, I don't even know why that's a big issue that they talk about the same topics. I don't mind it. I listen to country music, I also listen to pop music. They talk about the same things because they're things that people want to hear about the most, because they're things that people have experienced themselves. Music affects people more if they can relate to what's being spoken about. That's why the same topics get repeated and repeated and repeated, because they're the things that most people have experienced. Not enough people have gone whale searching in the Antarctica to make it a worthwhile topic to put in a song, which is why the same things get sung about, because they're the things people want to listen to. So again, that's not just for country music, that happens in all music. The most popular things that people can relate to get sung about. Another thing that people bring up about the content is that it's bad because it's not relatable to them, which is such a stupid thing to say, because just because you can't relate to it doesn't mean it's bad. There are loads of songs, especially in recent years, about, racism and black people's struggle with like the police and just societal, how they get treated. And I don't relate to that. I'm a white person from Britain, the country that created and then exported racism to the entire world. But I don't sit there and say, oh, it's bad because I don't understand what it's like to be picked on by the police because of the colour of your skin. Because again, that is a stupid argument to say that just because you can't relate to something means it's bad. I can't really relate to a lot of the things spoken about in country music. In case you didn't notice, I'm not from the deep south of America. But I can still enjoy the music even though I don't relate to every single thing they're talking about. People also say that the actual, if you take away the lyrics, that all the instrumentals and things sound the same in country music, and they all use all the same 4 chords, so they're all bad because they all sound the same, and they all use guitar and whatever. Yeah, they use the same chord progressions a lot, because they're good chord progressions. There's no point using a chord progression that sounds terrible just because it's unique. And pop music does the same thing. I don't know if you saw a while ago this video by a comedy group called Axis of Awesome went out about how a lot of songs use the same 4 chords. And in that video, most of them were pop songs. And that's, again, I'm not bashing pop music at all. I like pop music. It's just that I don't understand why so many of these things are being used to destroy country music when, again, pop music uses the same 4 chords a lot because they're good sounding chords. And if you listen to what's become popular a lot of the time now is like kind of electronic music. So not real instruments in pop music, you know, just people on their computers or whatever. And a lot of them sound the same. I'm sorry to say it, but if you can't hear it, then there's something wrong with you. And again, I like the music. It's good, it's catchy, it's upbeat. That's why people like it. It's because if something's popular, a lot of the time it will be repeated. Especially in pop music, a lot right now, is what people are doing is they're sampling other songs and using the exact same beat. So they're admitting that they're taking the exact same beat from another song and using it in that one. But again, that's okay because pop music's good and country music's bad. So pop music can do it, but when country music does it, oh, it's awful, it's terrible. And country music does have to use a lot of the same instruments because it still uses real instruments. It uses like guitar, drums, steel strings, violins, fiddles, that pop music, especially in recent years, have gone away from. They've gone away from a lot, and not all pop music, a lot of pop music still does use real instruments, but more of like electronic kind of stuff that's becoming popular, they've completely gone away with instruments, so you can get a lot more varied things if you just put in any single song, any single sound, or whatever you want on a computer, and you can kind of just create it like that. So again, the fact that all the background music sounds the same is wrong. If you just actually listen to country music, there is a lot of variety in different guitar riffs and things like that, different beats. But there's only so unique you can make something sound while also sounding pleasant to the human ear. There's a reason why so many chord progressions have become standard chord progressions that so many songwriters use. It's because they're good and there's no point messing with a thing that's not broken, you know? And the last thing that people say is that they just don't like the sound of it. And that would be a very valid point. If you just don't like the sound of something, you don't like the sound of something. The issue is that the people that are saying they hate country music because they don't like the sound of it, first of all, they do like some country songs. If you play someone 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton, some Shania Twain, Man I Feel Like a Woman, Lady Antebellum, I Need You Now, things like that. Oh, Carrie Underwood's Before He Cheats is a classic example of people really liking a country song and then going, yeah, no, but I mean, I like that one and I like some other ones, but still I hate all country music and it's so bad, blah, 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 blah. It's like, okay, right. And now you're also saying that you just hate the sound of all country music, when I would argue country music is some of the most diverse music with so many different subgenres. Hell, there's even a death metal country. So if you're one of those people that likes death metal, you could probably find some country songs that you'll like too, because it is that varied. It's got Americana, roots, there's more modern country, there's more honky-tonk country, there's even dude bro country. If you're a hardcore man's man who goes to the gym, whatever, and wants to pump up to some tunes, I don't know. But it's so varied, and to say that you don't like the sound of all country music when realistically you've not really listened to much of it, you just jumped on an internet bandwagon of hate without really taking the time to listen to, you know, what that genre has to offer, and it's especially ridiculous when you admit to liking other country songs. Like I saw a few days ago, someone was like, oh, on Twitter, that country music's awful, it's all terrible, there's no good country music. And then you also saw on them that they had like a Taylor Swift profile picture in their thing, and you go into their profile and they're talking about how much they love old Taylor Swift albums, which were country. So yeah, it's just a lot of people hating something, saying they hate the sound of it, when they've not actually listened to it properly, and the songs that they have heard, because they've become popular, because they're good and people like them, they like, but then they're still like, no, but country music is still terrible, it's still awful. No redeeming things about country music except these examples that, you know, we'll just put over to the side because country music sucks. So now we've kind of briefly talked on, you know, why people don't like the content of it. And there's another side to that, is that they think that, well, they don't like the artists involved and they don't like the fans involved. And one of the things about the artists that they say is, first of all, a big thing that's come up recently is that they're all people singing about being poor, blah, 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 but they've actually got money. First of all, that's not unique to country music either. There are plenty of people in pop music and rap music that talk about being poor all the time, but they're very rich. Like in the past few years, there was that I Just Got Paid song with Sigala, Ella Eyre and Meghan Trainor, talking about how they're struggling to pay rent this month, they've got bills, they're so broke. But if you look at their net worth, they're all multi-millionaires. So first of all, I doubt they're renting a property anyway. If they had any common sense, they'd buy. That's a different story. Second of all, I don't think they'd be struggling to pay their rent. So it's, again, not a unique thing to country music. I'd even say that the people in country music have more experience, most of them, of being really poor, because they've grown up in the south of America where poor is poor. Like, even the people that are middle class are still not as good, as well off as a lot of people in the rest of the country and in some other countries as well. So to say that, they're hypocrites because they're talking about being poor when they're not, like recently, Blake Shelton's recent song, Minimum Wage, which I didn't actually like, not just because of the content, I just thought it was a bit of a boring song. People brought up, but you're rich, you do The Voice in the US, you've got a lot of money. Yeah, but again, not unique to country music. A lot of artists talk about not having money when in fact they've got a lot of it, a lot of the stuff, more than you'll ever see in your entire lifetime. There's also a lot of discussion about how country music is bad and you shouldn't support it because the artists are racist or homophobic or whatever, otherwise problematic, as some people would class it. And there are a lot of people in country music who aren't nice people. Recently what came up was Morgan Wallen, his N-word controversy and how he was recorded spewing it into black people around his house. Horrible, not very nice. I was very upset about that because I did really like his music. Now I don't listen to it much because he's a bad person. But that's not unique to country music. Pop music, rap, R&B, whatever, they've all had their, bad people. Chris Brown, that whole abuse thing. Marilyn Manson, that whole abuse thing. Justin Bieber, his N-word controversy as well. So to say, on the homophobia thing, DaBaby recently, never heard of his music, but apparently was quite popular until he said a lot of homophobic remarks. So there are people, what I'll say is, there are bad apples in every orchard. You look at any group of people, there will be some bad people in there. But to highlight the country people as being the bad, when you've also got people from other genres of music who've done the same things, it just doesn't make sense to use that to hate country music when that's just a fact of life. Some people are bad people. It doesn't matter what kind of music they make. They can make music for any genre. They can make Wales music. They can still be a bad person. And people say that, it's not just that the artists are bad, it's that the fans then let them get away with it because they themselves are racist or homophobic or whatever. And yes, as I said before about Morgan Wallen, he then, it was kind of in the news a bit. He did a couple of interviews apologising and everyone kind of forgave and moved on. And so they're saying, well, yeah, country music different because we hold people accountable. Because, Justin Bieber, after he said that, he's not pop. Oh, wait, he's still doing really well. Chris Brown, in 2020, he had a top 3 single, and that single was in the charts for a year. So maybe it's not just country fans that let people get away with things. I don't think it's good that Morgan Wallen was kind of forgiven. I don't think it's good that Chris Brown or whatever were forgiven either. I think if someone shows you their true colours, you need to take it for, things that they've said. It's not as if someone was forcing them to say those things. They said them because even if it was the heat of the moment, I've gotten angry plenty of times. I've never used a racial slur at someone that I was angry with. So to say that, oh, you know, you can't like country music because the fans and the artists are problematic. There are problematic people in every single genre. If that's what you're using to hate a genre of music, then you might as well just not listen to any music at all, because every single person involved, not every single person involved, but every single genre that has people involved with it are going to have some bad people. That's just a fact of life. I wish that we could live in a world where every single person was a lovely person, but it's just not going to happen, unfortunately. But again, it's not really an excuse just to hate country music. Especially when you look at it, there are some amazing artists in country music that do so many amazing things. One of which is Dolly Parton, who is absolutely incredible. Spends millions of her own money sending books to kids in Tennessee because she wants imagination to flourish. She funded a large part of one of the vaccines for COVID recently. So there are some really good people in country as well, as there are really good people in other genres. Again, it's just how people are. There's some good ones, there are some bad ones. There are some good ones in country music, bad ones in country music. There are good ones in pop music, bad ones in pop music. So again, the point of this video wasn't to make everybody like country music, because people won't like country music. A lot of people just won't like it. And I'm fine with that. Quite frankly, the less people that enjoy country music, the more chance I have of getting tickets to concerts. So wonderful. Less competition for me, great. But what I don't like is people just jumping on an internet bandwagon, making fun of people that like country music, making fun of country music, hating on it so viciously, just because it's popular on the internet and there's no really any other reason I can see that there's no justification for the hate that this gets. There are other, genres of music that people don't like, but they don't go at it with this venom that they go with at country music, which is so stupid. I don't know why it became fun or cool to hate on country music, but it just has. And if you're one of the people that are on Twitter or talking with friends saying, oh, I hate country music so much, it's so bad, all the people in it are bad, take a step back and think about why you have such hate towards a single genre of music, and if it's actually because you don't like it, or if you've just seen other people make fun of it on the internet and you've gone, haha, this is fun, and then you all join in. And think, if you say that, think back in your mind country songs that you've actually enjoyed, like some John Denver, some Elvis Presley. Some of his music is even classified as country now. And think, do I actually really hate it, or has it just become something I've started saying? And I mean, really, keep saying it if you want. It doesn't really bother me that much. It's just, I don't think the hate is deserved. I think country music is really good. It's varied. It's, it can hit you really hard. It can boost you really high up. I really like it. I enjoy it a lot. Not everyone needs to, because not everyone's going to like the same thing, but that doesn't mean you need to hate on it so much. But anyway, sorry, this was a rant. I kind of mumbled on a lot. I probably repeated myself a lot. But yeah, no, this is just something that's been bugging me for a while, and I just wanted to get my thoughts out there. As I said, I'm a massive country music fan, so I'm probably going to do more videos about country music, country artists in the future. So, and also I do vinyl stuff, and I do other random tech stuff occasionally, just kind of whatever I'm interested in. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, subscribe down below, also like this video, leave a comment, whatever. And I'll see you next time. Bye!